Will, can we have can I have any injury update? Anyone back fitter than they were last week?
So we cut Welly and Josh off on Tuesday just to get them fresh again and to manage their load. So they'll be back in on Sunday. Apart from that, Will is still out. Breezy's still out. And Tyler has been brought back into training. So he trained as of yesterday. We'll just see over the next sort of 24 hours where we're at with him. But at least he's back with us and he's training. So that's a positive thing. And Chaz, came on the other day. Is back in with the group, same as Taylor. So we've got a few extra numbers to choose from. A few other players will have to sit out on the selection, but it's just that's the sort of competition that we want and where we want to be as a squad.
How's Taylor reacted to playing on Tuesday, having missed pre-season effectively, or most of it? Has he physically responded okay to that and to make him available for the weekend?
Yeah, he's doing really well. I don't know if he can sort of repeat 2 times 60 or 60 and then 90, but he's doing really well. There's no pain, there's no sort of scare there, so that's a big positive. And Chaz is the same. Chaz came on for the last sort of half an hour. Feels good, feels fresh. So we can push on with him.
From Taylor to Tyler, so he's back training with the squad, with a view to being reintegrated, or because he needs the fitness work and he's available, but he's probably still going to go. I mean, what can you say about where he is in his journey at the moment?
For the moment, he's still a Southampton player. He's trained really well yesterday. He's trained well today. We'll just have to sort of make a decision purely based on the sort of team and what the team needs and where he's at sort of physically. But we'll make that call sort of later in the day or tomorrow. But no, he's still a Southampton player. He hasn't gone anywhere. I know there's been a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise about a few players, but we can't control that as such. It's just part and parcel of what the transfer window is. So we'll have to wait and see.
I guess the reason I ask is because whilst physically he might be able to play, mentally he's had probably a difficult month for such a young man, not quite knowing what his future looks like. How have you dealt with him, talking to him and getting him? How have you managed to check if he's in the right frame of mind to play?
Just by having honest conversations. I think he was pretty honest in the past few weeks, and it is it's not the easiest thing in the world. He's still very young. He's still trying to understand how it all works out. But just I think I've said from the start, I'll just be honest with everyone and hope they're honest back. And everyone has been, to be fair. I think there was some stuff about Matty, and Matty's come back and done really well. And I'm sure Tyler will be exactly the same.
Is there a chance they'll both be in the squad on Sunday then? Will they both travel, Matty and Tyler?
There's a possibility of that happening. Again, we just need to sort of go with the transfer window being open. We just need to go sort of day by day and see how it plays out.
But if nothing changes in the window, you'd like them to be using their quality on the pitch.
If they're ready to give it 100% for the team, and as I said, the team's always going to be the most important thing. But if that's the case, then 100%.
Are Ipswich the team to finish above to make sure you get promoted, whoever you are in the Championship? Are they the bar, do you think, Ipswich? A lot of people have them as the favourites to go back up.
They're a very good team, but there are a number of very good teams in the Championship this season. And we have to be at it. We'll have to be very, very good. But I think it's still too early to sort of set a bar and start speculating about who's going to get automatic and who's going to be where at the end of the season. We've played one. They played against a really good Birmingham side as well. But no, I mean, they've got a lot of qualities. They've got a really good manager. So we know, what to expect. We know how we need to, behave and in what frame of mind we need to go there. But it's still, for me, way too early to start speculating about where we need to finish and how we need to, play certain teams or others. I think everyone's good and everyone deserves, good preparation. And that's what we've done, and that's what we'll do for Sunday.
Yeah, I guess it goes along with what we've already been saying. Until the transfer window shuts, you don't know what every squad looks like anyway when it comes to who'll be good or bad. But it's a great early test for you to see where your players are to go there, because the stadium's intimidating, it's tight, they're into it, they'll be well on you. I mean, it's a great character test for some of your players.
No, 100%. I think that the whole context of the game is their sort of first game of the champ at home. They'll want to start well. They've got a lot of individual quality, but there's also a collective, that's well structured, well oiled. And like us, there are a few players that are sort of on the move and going places, but that's sort of the case in every club. But I'm sure Kieran's got them up for it, and we'll have to, like I said, be very good.
Just finally from me, you look back at the last week, you've got through 2 tricky games with wins. When you look at, say, a week ago when you sat here before the first game, how do you feel now compared to then?
Really positive. I think the first championship game was spectacular and entertaining, and that's what we want to do. I don't think it's good for everyone's heart that it happens in the same way every week, but we got a win. I thought we, on the whole, I'm not a big stats man, but our XG was really high, our possession stats were good, and there were a lot of positives to take from that first game. And then we moved on to Tuesday, where we adapted the numbers, adapted the squad, got players minutes. But when you look at the number of teams that struggled in the competition and got knocked out, and it's never an easy feat. And we managed to get it over the line to qualify, to get everyone back on board and on sort of on the same level, sort of playing minute wise. So on the whole, I think it's been a very positive few days. We know that the way we played wasn't perfect, wasn't really what we want it to be, but there's a context to the game. There's a team facing us, and we got through, and that was the main thing. We know that there's still a hell of a lot of work to do. We're well conscious of that, but it's important to keep winning and to keep that sort of routine and momentum going.
I was going to finish there, but now you just said you're not a big stats man. I've got to ask you, there's me thinking, well, people always link you with Football Manager, and then you've been an analyst and done all that stuff, but you're not a big stats man yet. Most modern managers we think are big stats men.
I know, that's like that etiquette that you just get stuck to. But no, I'm open-minded. I'll use stats if they're there and there.
Well, I'm glad you're not, because they're just part of the game. They're not the real life in what's going on in the player's head.
No, I think that you've got to take the whole human side of things into consideration, and stats back it up if they look good, but you tend to forget them if they're not so good. So it's just part of what it is.
Thank you.
Cool. Alfie for 10:30. You managed to upset Kevin Nolan a little bit with some comments that his team were direct on Tuesday. I think you were just being complimentary of the way that his team stressed yours, I suppose, but is that just a misunderstanding for you?
I think so. I've actually contacted Kev, and just apologised if anything I said was disrespectful or out of order. I didn't intend it to be the case. I've grown up watching Kev, and I've grown up watching Sam Allardyce's teams, and if anything, I actually admire people that can play like that, and I'd like us to be a bit more direct when we can be. But no, it was you know what media's like, and I've contacted Kev, and we're all good, and I've apologised if I did say anything wrong. That's not who I want to be and what I want to do. And like I said, if anything, I'd probably want my teams to be able to upset opposition teams like theirs does, and credit where it's due. They were good at what they do, and they put us under a lot of stress and a lot of or into a lot of difficulty. So no, I made that quite clear, and I'm all good.
I know you're miles from obsessed about shape and formation and things like that, but I think all through pre-season it looked like you were going to play a 4-2-3-1, then you had the Brighton game, since then it's been a 3-5-2. Is there just anything specific that you liked about seeing that shape against Brighton, or was it to do with personnel?
100% down to personnel. I think, to play certain systems like a 4, you need certain profiles of players that, we're not quite there on yet. And wingers, especially with sort of Tyler not being available in there. We haven't really got any out and out wingers. We've sort of got a lot of inside forwards and players of that profile. So it's more a question of managing this month with the transfer window still open, by being pragmatic, by being adaptable where we can be, but also by trying to get the best out of the players that we've got, and ultimately winning games. And we just felt that for the last 2 games, that's what we needed to do, and that's what needed to happen. But I think I've always said I'm not sort of fixed on one shape or form or whatever it looks like. It's just getting the best out of the players that we have available to us and that we can use moving forward. But again, you can, Ipswich play a back 4, for example. It's a proper 4-2-3-1, and we need probably different profiles of players to play against that and to upset them. So yeah, that's what we'll always do. We're not always going to adapt to everyone, because we want our own style and way of playing and what have you. But there's I think I've said it enough. There's a sort of level of pragmatism and adaptability that we need to show to pick up points, and that's what we'll do.
5 weeks of pre-season and all summer, but have you learnt a lot about your squad just in the last week and winning 2 games in the way you have?
Yeah, 100%. I think you can tell that it's quite a nice feeling for them, and that they've there's a sense of okay, we're moving in the right direction and we're trying to do things right. We know that everything isn't perfect, and I've said that enough. We need to improve, but we are improving. There are details that are moving forward, and I think the best thing is that the players are really open to it and actually want to learn, and they come and they ask questions. They're sort of proactive in the way they go about things, like Gaffer, can we see a video of this? Can I see my clips of this? Can we talk about this? Which is refreshing and quite quite nice to work with. So no, it's all good, and there will be difficult times, and there will be times where we lose games, and it will be interesting to see how everyone reacts and how we pick ourselves up if it does happen. But obviously we want to sort of keep that positive flow and momentum and feel of people going in the same direction.
Captain Zuni was obviously brilliant last weekend. Alex McCarthy kept the clean sheet on his first appearance this week. Dylan Moody was in the squad as well because of a bit of illness. Are you happy with those 3 goalkeepers? Is that your 3 for the season?
I think it would be tricky, or we'd be putting pressure on people that we don't need to put pressure on yet. So I think if we can, we'll probably, just in terms of numbers and numbers in training as well, because Dill often plays with the 21s. And we do need 3 keepers on training at times. So just in terms of numbers, I think we'll probably look to bring someone in. But it again, we need to get the profile right and the person right. And that person needs to come in and actually help the other 2 keepers and not create chaos. So we're just assessing the situation and trying to get the right person in.
And you've spoken a bit about Tyler Diblin, you've mentioned Joey as well. Is there anything close with Sam Adozi, who obviously wasn't part of the squad last week?
Yeah, Sam is. Yeah, there are offers there. There are things moving for him. He's, I think, taking his time to, decide what he really wants to do and where he wants to go. But yeah, there's a strong possibility that Sam won't be here.
There's a whole storm on social media about an Armenian attacking midfielder from FC Krasnodar, Eduard Spursian.
Yeah.
There's reports that apparently he said he has an offer from a club. It might be this club. Is that true?
I think it's the same as last week with Jack Rodoni and other players. There's a big list of players that we've looked at, and Edward was a part of that list. But that's about it, or what I can, as much as I can say. He's a good player. He's got a proven record, and we're interested in good players. So